Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Shaniqua Dupree, your Navy transition coach, and today we're going to be talking about how do you know when it's time to hang up that military towel. I put together 5 key ways to know when it's just time to go. Number 1 is when your mental health and your physical health is basically deteriorating. And I'm not talking about, the normal stress that we all go through in life, but I'm talking about when you have to take medicine in order to get through your day. That is not okay, or when you have to figure out different ways to not blow up at somebody because you are just completely over it. And so it is very key that we pay attention to what's going on in our mental space and also what's going on in our physical bodies. Our bodies tell us when things are not right. And so it's so key to make sure we pay attention to that. Number 2, when the benefits do not outweigh the cons anymore. A lot of us would join the military for education benefits, right? We want to make sure that we get our college paid for. We want to make sure that we have the health benefits and all the things. I mean, consistent pay every 2 weeks, plus always getting raises. Like, there's so many benefits, but when the benefits are like, it's not even worth it anymore, you know it's time to go. And so it's time to make sure that you're preparing properly for when the time comes to where you can decide, hey, I now have the chance, let me get up out of here. Number 3 is when you are ready to do something different. For me, like, I'm always doing something different. I was always involved in the civilian world, right? But what was key to me is just knowing that if I go to work and the first thing I think about doing is something outside of the Navy or outside of my job, then maybe it's time to, think about how to make that thing that you're always, thinking about, that's always on your mind, making that your full-time thing. Now, we all know that we can't just hop up out the Navy or whatever branch you're in at any point in time that we feel like it. But when the opportunity comes, think about how much happier you will be when you're doing something that you're always thinking about, something that makes you feel accomplished in life. Being in the military, it makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel like you're serving a higher purpose. And I feel like that's a big reason as to why a lot of us stay. But what's more important than that is making sure that we are happy, right? We're always going to go through something, right? But we don't have to be unhappy when we go to work. So when you know that you want to do something different, whether it's go to school, whether it is be a nurse or be a school teacher or start your own company, whatever it is, take advantage of the opportunity that comes when you can finally say, let me do something different.
Before we jump into the rest of this video, I would like to share with you all that I do have a book that I published this past February called I Am Profitable, a guide to discovering how you can turn your experiences into multiple income streams. You can find it on Amazon in paperback or Kindle. Now back to the show.
Number 4 is when your family is falling apart. This is hard because we're like, okay, well, I need to work this job in order for me to take care of my family. But when our family is not really seeing us, and I'm not talking about, your mom or your dad, I'm talking about your dependents, those who are depending on you, like your wife or your husband, your children. When they can't really experience you as a parent, it might be time to rethink your career plans, your career options. And I have first-hand experience with this because when my first son was born, it was in the military. I had to make a choice if I wanted to have my son stay with me or if I wanted to send him over to be with his grandparents. Now, a part of that choice wasn't really a choice because, to be honest, I couldn't figure out a way to make it work. I tried to find a nanny to come and stay with me. I tried to get family member to come and stay with me to help take care of my baby boy while I was at work, and it just did not work out the way that I would have hoped it to, especially, you know, being on sea duty, having to go on deployment, having to go underway, or just be away from him in general for an extended period of time. I couldn't do it, of course, because I wasn't available. I had to have somebody else there. But because I didn't have anybody else there, I had to send him over to be with his grandparents. Now, thankfully, he absolutely love and adore his grandparents. However, my relationship with my firstborn son is not as strong as it is with my last two children. And that hurts my heart, because it's like, this is my baby. He doesn't treat me or see me or have that type of relationship that is, I guess, how do I say it, like, it's not really super connected. I can tell the difference between my relationship with my firstborn and then my last two children. And having to make that decision as a mom, as a parent, was not hard. I had to send him over to be with his grandparents when he was only 8 months old. And I didn't get to have him again until maybe 2 years old. And that was only by like chance that I was even to get him that early, because it was going to be a lot longer than that. And so I would see him during the holidays, but even when he came to be with me during the holidays, it was like, I don't really want to talk to you. I don't really know you like that. In my heart, I'm just like, I had you. You are mine. You came from me. And it's just not, it was not an ideal situation for me to be in. However, there are even more people, or even other service members who have a spouse, right? And that relationship is deteriorating because, you know, when you have a spouse, you want to be connected with them. You want to talk to them whenever you want to. You want to, you know, do grown-up things. You want to build together. And if one person is not there majority of the time, it's pretty hard. And so not everybody has that relationship that is strong no matter where they are in the world. It takes some being together and building together to make things really work. And so when you find out, or when you're starting to see that your family life is taking a huge hit, like divorce is being mentioned, the kids are having trouble at school, the kids are having trouble at home, mom's depressed, dad's depressed, whomever's staying at home, like, when things are starting to look terrible, it may be time for you to exit the military. And last but not least, number 5 is when you can't see yourself doing anything else but serve in the military. It is time to go, okay? One reason I say that is because you don't know when it's going to be your last day in. You could get separated for medical reasons. Something wacky could happen in your career to where you have no choice but to leave. For example, higher tenure out, you know, not making rank soon enough, and then they just put you out because you met the deadline. You can't just think that the military is always going to be here for you, right? When you want, everybody wants to, or a lot of people, they want to do their 20 years, retire, live their best life, okay, consistent money coming in, not having to work. That's great, right? A lot of us want to do that, but reality is not everybody will be able to. So if you have it in your mind where you're just like, well, I mean, I could just, you know, do this or do that, you need to be honest with you, get real, okay? Get real, because reality really says that even if you do make your 20, even if you do go as long as you can in the military, you ain't going to be up in the military 80 years old, okay? You're not going to be 80 years old still dusting and sweeping the mess decks, okay, or serving in whatever capacity that you serve. When it's consistently like, this is all I know, you have no time for any growth outside of military, it is time to go, okay? It's okay to be gung-ho, that's perfectly fine, but you have to see yourself farther than where you are right now, because when that time comes, it is going to be so hard. You know, when the time comes where you don't have a choice no more, it is going to be tremendously difficult for you to leave, for you to get it out of your system that you're not going to be going to work at 0500 no more, okay, and getting off at whatever time you feel like you need to get off. I'm not saying to not enjoy your time in the service, in the military, but what I am saying is you need to not get so sucked up that you can't see your own future. All right. Now, these again were the 5 ways that you essentially know when it's time to hang up the towel, that military towel. And I'm also going to make a video about 5 reasons that you should actually stay in the military. And I actually went through that experience as well, like trying to decide, should I stay, should I go? I actually ended up staying. I then left, and then I came back, all of these different things. And so all of my experience in regards to transitioning throughout the military, that's one thing that I know will absolutely help somebody else, is should I stay or should I go? And I'll talk about exactly why you should actually stay. If you are struggling with trying to figure out what the next steps really are, if you want to hear some experiences and ask other people who have transitioned out of the military, if you want to ask them some questions, or you just want to be in a group of people who have been there and done that, I created a group called Military Transition Community. This is a place where there are people who have actually served in the military, where they can share their experiences, find employment, build relationships for their military transition, you know, getting out or even staying in, whatever the case may be. And if that's something that you are interested in, that is a Facebook group that you can join. Again, it's called Military Transition Community. As well as that, make sure you join me here every Monday at 7 p.m. for our smooth sailing conversations, where we are interviewing those who have actually transitioned within the military. Not everybody did leave the military, but some people left, some people stayed, and it's just kind of telling their story of what kind of worked out for them. Also, down in the description box, I do have a link to our email list called The Next Steps. This email list is designed to share tips, tricks, updates about what's going on here at Navy Transition Coach. There are also some other links down in the description box that you can check out as well. And with all that being said, thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.